Hey, it's Romina, your favorite podcaster. I hope everybody's doing great today and having an amazing Thursday. I do have a bonus episode for you guys today, but today it is slightly different. I will be sharing a personal experience and hopefully I can help somebody out there. But before we do get started, I do want to let you guys know that don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitchers Radio, YouTube, Podbean, Instagram, and also at www.rmpodcastfl.com. So I will touch a topic today that a lot might consider it crazy or something that I would never do or even somebody would love to do. But we gotta go there. This podcast is focused on self-improvement. Is focused on getting to the next level and achieving bigger successes in our lives, personally and professionally. Sometimes we have all these goals and we want to achieve all these dreams, and our own thoughts and feelings hold us back often. Today, we are going to go at a feeling you might have avoided for a while, or you might have avoided for the longest time, and it's scary for you to go there. Even though sometimes you tell yourself that you're going to man up or woman up and do it. So today we are going to talk about grabbing a coffee with your ex. Before we do go there, I want to tell you I am not an expert, or nor am I the one to tell you what to do or not to do. I will share a personal experience that helped me feel better and let me go of something that was keeping me from moving forward. And hopefully this might be a learning experience and an example for you. We all learn from each other's mistakes and achievements, but it is up to you. How would you like to interpret today's episode? Last year, I attended one of the Success Resource Conferences in Orlando, Florida, and it was amazing. All the speakers were so motivated and so motivational, and they were so passionate about business and helping others. The one that I loved the most, of course, it was Tony Robbins. When he takes over the stage, it's like a whole different feeling. And that was the first time I attended a live conference with him. And let me tell you, he will get the good and the bad out of you. And I loved the conference. But I felt as I got disappointed from Tony Robbins last year. And let me explain myself. In a moment, he had us write down 3 names. It would be 3 people that have hurt us the most in our lives. So I wrote down my ex-husband's name 3 times. He told us to take the courage and talk to these 3 individuals and let them know they hurt us and have an open conversation so you let your negative feelings out. Well, I did not like that part. How could I stand in front of my ex-husband and tell him that? I didn't even want to see him, not even talk to him, so I disliked Tony's point. And months went by, and that was still stuck on my head. I would be thinking, okay, I'll have coffee with him. But what would I tell him? What would he tell me? How would I answer? And I would have this conversation on my head, but I don't seem to have all the answers on my head. So I would tell myself, okay, Romina, let it go. Just forget about it. Move on. So I would forget about it, and I would come back to it. After months and months of having this constant thoughts of my head, I finally took the courage and I decided with myself to meet him. When I decided to meet him, I started doing an analyzing of myself. I asked myself, okay, he hurt you, but have you ever hurt him? Have you ever mistreated him? And I was asking myself, why was I punishing him so much and blaming him so much for everything on my life? After a lot of thinking, I came to realization that my life sucked after my divorce because of me, not because of him. He was not there. He wasn't telling me what to do. Completely the opposite. He was hours and hours away from me, and I was not in contact with him. But I blamed him for the longest time, and I played the victim. It felt good because I was using that as excuse for the life results that I was putting for my personal life results. And I was putting the blame on him. But that wasn't right. He didn't tell me what to do. He didn't tell me to do something where I saw the negative results on. I was the one that was taking the actions, and I needed to be the one to take the consequences with it as well. So I needed to take ownership of my actions. When it came to my professional life, I was doing great. I was staying focused. I was seeing results. I was putting in the work, and I was seeing only positive results. But my emotional side was a mess. So I thought of relationships, and sometimes I got scary, and I was like, no. But fast forward to a couple of months ago, after over 3.5 years later, I got the courage to sit down and have a coffee with my ex-husband. Now, mind you, it took me 3.5 years. I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry. I sincerely apologized. I apologized for the times I've hurt him. I apologized for the times I had disappointed him. And I apologized for the times I might have mistreated him. I looked at him in the eye and I said, I am sorry for my mistakes. And I know you asked for forgiveness multiple times from breaking your loyalty to me and to us. And I sincerely forgive you. And I meant it. At that moment, I felt as if the whole world was sitting in my shoulders for years. And then it just went away. I had looked at the person that I felt that hurt me the most in my entire life and apologized to him for my mistakes and told him that I forgive him. I could also see it on his face. He felt better. He felt accepted once again. He felt accepted even after a mistake that he had made that had changed our life paths. And it was such an amazing moment. I felt reborn. I felt as a new person. And he felt the same. We both said it. We separated paths after the coffee. But this time, when we split paths again in our life, it was in good terms. A good friend of mine told me one time, you meet people in life for a reason. There's always a meeting and a separation moment, even though we don't like to accept it. We learn from everyone, and everyone that crosses our paths teaches us a life lesson, and they have crossed our paths for a reason. So a while later, after that coffee, I went to a conference where Tony Robbins was the keynote speaker again. And this time it was in Atlanta. When I saw him, I felt as he would be proud of me and proud of what I did. I felt as I owed it to him to do the right thing. And I know he doesn't even know Romina personally, at least not yet. But I felt proud. I was a little upset with him at first when he made me write down the list. But God, that feels great. Like completing that list feels amazing. And at the end of the day, I wrote down that list. I wrote down those names. Well, that name. Nobody else did. That was my list. And sometimes we do not like it when people tell us the truth. Or people give us the formula how to succeed and we don't use it. Tony gave it to me, told me what to do. But it took me months to put it to action because I got on my own head for no reason. I let my own feelings get to me. Now, I will not sit here and tell you the process is easy, but it's worth it. This podcast, RM Podcast FL, it's focused on self-improvement and letting go of whatever holds you in the past and improving yourself. The biggest competitor, it's yourself. And after that coffee with my ex, I felt as I beat my own self. Letting go of a hurtful feeling releases you. It makes you feel as you just got a shinier look. And maybe it's the shiny look that you had before you got hurt. If there is someone out there that has hurt you in the past, it might be time to talk to them. Now, before you do talk to them, make sure it's for the right reasons and make sure that you are deeply ready. You can have open scarves be healed with that conversation, or let go of those baggages you've been carrying around for months or for years. Let go of the past, heal from it, and move on. One of my favorite quotes says, "You realize that our mistrust of the future makes it hard to give up the past." And I'll let you guys with that quote. I hope my life lesson becomes a lesson for somebody else. If you guys would like to listen to more life lessons episodes, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and go ahead and review us 5-star because we still need to hit that record. And if you guys do have any questions, always rmpodcastfl@gmail.com. And don't forget, we have new episodes every Tuesday. And we have life lesson, improvement stories episodes every Thursday. I hope my life lesson comes to lesson for somebody else out there as well. And like I said, it is up to you for interpretation of this podcast. Well, like always, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitchers Radio, YouTube, Podbean, at www.rmpodcastfl.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, rmpodcastfl, and the same name on Facebook. I hope you guys have a great and an amazing day, and happy Friday Junior. Bye now.